welcome to episode 536 of Good Luck High Five. This is a very special episode. We have a special guest host sitting in for Megan. My name's Maria. I'm one of your hosts. We've got Carolyn Pardee.
Hi.
Yay, we're so excited to have you.
I'm really excited to be here. I've never been here before.
No, this is your first time seeing our studios. You've been on the show before, though.
I have.
Virtually.
I tricked you into letting me on the show.
Oh, how did you trick us?
I messaged in the beginning of a season of the VML and said, if I win this season, can I come on your podcast?
That's right.
And I won that season.
Well, I wouldn't say so much you tricked us as you were really good at magic and you delivered on a promise/threat.
I did. It was actually the only thing I was playing for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, didn't need the online championships.
No,
it was just to come on the podcast.
I mean, we are the prestige of magic podcasts.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about the movie that everybody hates. Everyone, thank you so much. I'm so excited to have Caroline here because we are going to talk about the VML, playing Magic, but we're also going to get you ready for the Pro Tour coming up this weekend because MagicCon Minneapolis starts on Friday, as does the Pro Tour Machine, as we're calling it, because Pro Tour March of the Machine would take 75 years to say that every time.
Not Pro Tour Mom, because I like that better.
I mean, look, yes, I also appreciate Pro Tour Mom, but I don't think that is going to fly.
I'm a Pro Tour Mom.
You are kind of like a Pro Tour mom. You're at the Pro Tours. You make sure everybody's having a good time. Yep. If I was like, Caroline, I need a bottle of water, I feel like you would get me one.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to talk to the Pro Tour mom about Pro Tour mom, including standard, draft, because draft's going to be a little weird this time, and we're going to talk about that, as well as what it's like to be in a testing house with players before the Pro Tour, because you are staying in one, of course, because your husband's playing, and we're going to find out all the interesting conversations they have behind the scenes, which may or may not have to do with Magic the Gathering. Which this podcast is ostensibly about. But before we get into the show, we have some people to thank. A huge thank you to everybody who supports us over on patreon.com/GLHF Magic. You can subscribe at any dollar amount, getting access to our Discord server and other cool perks. And a super special thank you this week to Victor Lee, Dennis Ronner, Randy Bain, and Scott Charney for their new or increasing pledges.
Wait, I don't get a shout out? I'm a patron.
You get a shout out if you're a new or increasing pledge.
Okay, so you're literally my only patron.
Really?
Yes. I canceled everything else, but I kept this podcast just in case you had me back on.
Wow,
this is really smart.
Just for this moment. Yes. Well, you're scoring major points with me right now.
Yes, I did it.
Do you want to give a testimonial as to why people should become patrons?
Oh, it's really great. There's a Discord. Well, okay, I will say,
yes,
there was a movie night one time that was really fun.
A movie night.
So if you do that again, maybe you'll get more patrons.
Okay, good point.
It was really good.
Yeah,
what did we watch?
We've watched Die Hard in our movie nights.
No, that's not what we watched.
And then we watched a really bad rom-com.
Probably
was that what
one.
It was? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had the Good Luck High Five movie nights, and they've been so fun.
The magic content is great too.
We should have another movie night. But movie night, let's be real.
That's it. That's what I'm here for.
If you want to pressure us to do another live movie night, become a patron, patreon.com/GLHF Magic, and shout out to Caroline for being a patron.
I did it.
We're also going to say thank you to Card Kingdom. You can check them out at cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Get whatever you need for your magical life. They've got it all. You can get March of the Machine Aftermath on pre-order already from Card Kingdom, which is pretty cool. And Caroline, how do you feel about Card Kingdom?
Okay, I actually legitimately love Card Kingdom.
Yes.
I do orders on a regular basis, and I just did one where a local store is doing like $100 Commander budget league.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I got all my cards from Card Kingdom. First of all, there's like an import button where you just like throw all your cards in and it just picks all. It was great.
That's so easy. Yeah, if you say Good Luck High Five in checkout, they'll give you one of our tokens or a sticker, which is very cool. And one day maybe you'll get one, Caroline.
Yeah, I do a lot of orders, so maybe one day I'll remember. Do you have a service that texts you to say don't forget?
That sounds very complicated.
Okay. Well, you made a phone number one time.
Oh, we did. Yes. We did have a phone number one time for people to call in and leave reviews.
Yeah.
It was, you can buy, I say buy. You can reserve phone numbers on Google, and then we used a service, an anagram finder, to find out what word we had made with those numbers. I was wondering how you
did that. Okay.
Yeah. We just reverse engineered it, and then so it was like 1-888 whatever the heck it was.
I can't remember what it was. Yeah.
But that's how you do it, everybody.
Okay.
That's some inside baseball.
Wow,
for
we just got inside information over here. Kind of a little bit pull the curtain back.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea that you came up with the anagram first, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that would be ideal, but that probably costs money to get a phone number like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Commander deck? What are you building?
Ooh, so, okay, I really love Hydras. My very first Commander deck years and years and years and years ago was like a red-green Hydra deck.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm not a big Commander fan, so please don't stop listening. But
they already know how we feel about Commander. It's too many cards to shuffle.
Yes.
For a tiny
and I'm a
hands.
big Spike. So I'm really not a Commander fan.
Yeah.
But there's a new Pelucranos. It's like green Hydra. Flips over, becomes like a worm coil Hydras. And I was totally enthralled. So.
Yeah, I played the card in draft the other day.
And did you know I get white in my Commander deck because of the Pelucranos?
Hey, that's pretty sweet.
I didn't. But I do now.
Those Phyrexian activated abilities, everybody. Yeah. Get an extra color in your Commander deck secretly.
I thought I was going to have to do mono green, but now I just have a really expensive Smothering Tide for no reason. I still am a Spike.
Good. Well, yeah. That's cardkingdom.com/GLHF.
Yep. Oh, I could have went there. That would have been good too.
That's how you do it. Oh. You put that in, and it automatically put it in your code of checkout.
I really wish I'd listened to this podcast.
We're going to talk about Pro Tour Mom now here coming up this weekend, everybody. You can catch it on Twitch, twitch.tv/magic, starting Friday and Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern and then 11 a.m. Eastern on Sunday for the top 8. It's going to be more than 250 players. There's a $500,000 prize pool, and they're playing standard and draft. And the players are already trickling in here to Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. You're here with some players who are going to be playing this tournament. And I got to start off our discussion about it by asking you what it's like to stay in a Pro Tour testing house.
So this is actually my first time staying in the house for a while. Because last in Philadelphia, I stayed in a hotel, so I didn't do the house. It's interesting. It's a lot of different personalities. Yeah. To be fair, it's only been one day, and everyone was arriving on a travel day, so there was different variety of energy.
Yes.
My favorite non-magic topics, which there aren't a lot of, I will tell you. It's a lot of magic.
Like nonstop magic chat.
Nonstop, like random card discussion for like a really long amount of time. Very not interesting to me. But I made some notes on non-magic topics.
Okay, great. This is very important.
This morning there was a particularly long discussion about whether or not you butter bread.
What kind of question is that? What do you mean?
I was a little bit half asleep.
Okay.
But it was definitely, so we have some Europeans and some Americans.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like a more one side versus the other side. And it just sounds like maybe, at least the people that are there in Europe, don't butter their bread.
Like, do you mean like in a sandwich or?
No, for breakfast, like toast.
So they're eating their toast with nothing on it?
I don't know. I was shocked. I was shocked.
It would truly be shocking.
But there was like there was a surprise when there was buttered bread given to them, or buttered toast given to them with breakfast. I don't know if I just misunderstood.
They're eating a dry toast?
I don't know. I might have misunderstood. You can have Andrea Mongucci on this podcast.
Okay, we'll ask
figure
him.
it out. Yeah,
we'll ask him. Yeah. So who are the people in the house with you? You don't have to name all of them. Just the ones that you remember that you like the best.
Oh, well, Sam Pardee.
That's your husband. Yes.
So it's actually similar to Reed Duke wrote his post Pro Tour win article.
Yeah.
It's honestly like a very similar list to that. So you got Reed, Nassif, and Sam, you have LSV, et cetera, et cetera. LSV is not in the house currently.
Well, this sounds like a star-studded house. Reed,
cool.
Won the last tournament.
Oh, did he? Oh,
yeah.
Cool. I got a nice little shout out in that article.
Oh, you did?
I did. I got there was the testing team and then the people who were also present.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what it was called, but that's how I read it.
Testing team adjacent.
Yeah.
Carolyn Pardee.
Yep. I was present.
I mean, that's exciting to be around such people who are so incredible at magic and also talking about things like, do you butter toast or do you eat it dry? Okay, so
the other less fun conversation was a lot of topic about healthcare.
Oh,
and a lot of comparing some of the people have experience right now in Europe with healthcare, and they're just shocked at some of the things they're getting versus Americans.
We get bupkis, man.
I know. I've chosen to live here.
Yeah,
I'm so happy about it.
You're a Canadian, and you're now becoming an American.
I am.
For better or for worse.
for one of those things.
Welcome to our country.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got healthcare. We've got buttered or non-buttered toast. What else do they talk about?
Eggs.
Okay, what?
I mean, I think I knew this one, but I don't think eggs are refrigerated in Europe as much.
No, they're not.
Yeah, and so there was like a kind of a bit of a shock on that.
Okay, so like, do you refrigerate or just leave out your eggs?
Yeah, and you know what I didn't ask, which I actually legitimately want to know?
Yeah.
So eggs are really expensive here.
Yes.
Are they expensive in Europe?
I don't know.
Because they're like really expensive here.
Yeah, that's like the number one thing like in our current inflation crisis that people point to as like, this is what is the bellwether of our inflation is the cost of eggs.
Yeah.
And right now, yeah, eggs are super expensive.
Yeah, so I actually don't. I'll report back.
Yeah, report back.
Yeah.
We'll update you, everybody.
I'll do a segment live from the house.
We'll do hashtag egg update to let you all know if eggs are. I'm sure our European listeners will let us know.
Yeah,
if they are
actually
or not.
Tweet at us.
Yes, yeah,
Egg
at
update. Then I don't have to do the segment. That would actually be great.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, we're taking the work off Caroline's shoulders.
Please.
She's enough work this week.
Yeah.
Hashtag egg update at GLHF Magic. Thank you so much. I store my eggs outside of the fridge because I consider myself highly European.
But I think it has to do with our eggs.
Are you saying our egg quality is so low that they need to be refrigerated?
Yes.
Wow.
Wait, do you know about...
I did not know that.
Okay, so a couple months ago, or it was probably like a year ago, Sam opened our refrigerator and found out that when I crack an egg, I leave the shell back in the carton.
Oh my God.
He still married me after discovering this. So
I would have been out of there.
And there was a lot of upset people about this. So I just have a long history of eggs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
No, I would never leave a shell. Do you still leave the
Wait, but
shell?
you leave the eggs out of the fridge, but you would never leave a shell?
Correct.
Doesn't that seem like similar?
I don't know.
I actually do not still leave the shell. He
you
tweeted out a video
changed.
about it, and there was so much controversy that I have in fact changed.
I mean, to be fair, much of your relationship is your marital disputes happen on Twitter for everyone to
They
see.
really do.
And I've got to see, they're highly entertaining, everybody. So if you follow either of them, which I do recommend.
The best is when you can tell what side I'm on.
Yes.
That's the best.
Yes. For instance, one that is happening every day is your Rubik's Cube you have.
Oh, yes.
Where you can make the date by changing the Rubik's Cube.
Yep.
And what's the deal with that?
So I got this from Sam's dad for Christmas. He gave it to me, and I love doing Rubik's Cubes, so I started doing it. And I don't know why I did this, but I said, hey, Sam, if I can do this for a year, can I pick where we go on our honeymoon?
Oh,
and
great.
he goes, sure, but if you fail, he gets to pick where we go.
Wow.
And I'm kind of afraid he'll pick something like Minnesota.
We're literally in Minnesota right now.
Right, my bad.
You couldn't have slammed Wisconsin, Iowa. Pick a state.
I did. I picked Minnesota.
Rude.
I feel like he's gonna pick like a town that's an hour away from us or something.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
So
know.
now you are on a mission.
So I'm really motivated.
I've seen you every day. You post
Did you
the
know
new cube.
there was some drama?
What?
So on Saturday, I posted a picture that said Sunday, April 29th.
By mistake?
By mistake. I was sleepy and by mistake. And somebody texted me at 11:54 on Saturday evening and said, Caroline, you posted the wrong picture.
Oh my God.
And so I jumped out of bed, solved it to the right day, posted it. And so I almost fumbled.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Big shout out to Nicole Callahan, Lady of the Crease.
Thank you.
She saved my bacon.
Saved your bacon.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to solve that every day?
I could go get it. It takes like 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not, it honestly is not as hard as it looks. And it's great when people are like, wow, that's so impressive. I'm like, thanks.
So that's life in a Pro Tour house. Eggs, buttered toast, and healthcare. And lots and lots and lots of deep dives on Magic cards for sometimes absolutely no reason. So the people are here testing. We're playing standard and draft. And you have a bit of like... you've got an inside info on what it's like to be playing one of these Pro Tours, including the draft format of this one, which is weird because we have double-sided cards.
We have a couple of double-sided cards.
Yeah.
Per pack.
Yeah. So it turns out they're going to have to like think about how to handle that at the Pro Tour. And the players have been preparing for it. So what's going on?
Yeah, so I... believe this is how it's working. Please don't go to the PT and be like, I heard.
Yeah.
So I believe what's going to happen is all the pods at the same time are going to open their packs, and each time, pack 1, pack 2, pack 3, and they're going to show their 2 double-sided cards to the entire table for, I think, a minute. And then no notes or talking or anything can really happen in this minute. And then they're going to take that pack and they're going to sleeve it and then draft that pack. Then repeat the process for pack 2, repeat the process for pack 3. So it's a little bit, it's not quite as same as your local F&M where like you just open it and you can kind of see who took the double-sided card if, they're not good at putting it underneath their cards. Or, so you don't know who took the really cool cards, but you do know where they are in the table. And I will say the conversations that have gone on about how you handle that process, because can you memorize 16 cards?
Absolutely not.
And spoilers, most people can't.
Yeah.
Like even the best of the best are not going to be able to be like, oh, I know all 16, boom. So there's been a lot of conversations about what do you do with that information. And that actually legitimately has been interesting to listen to because this is a new thing. And so listening to a bunch of people try and solve a new thing is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen like memory tricks where you would try to remember like the first letter of the cards and then you make a mnemonic to make sense of, that's apparently how Benjamin Franklin remembered people's names.
Oh, really? The hard thing is the alternate arts as well. Because again, as I said, you can't ask questions. Oh, and one thing's kind of interesting. During the draft, you cannot look at the backside of the card. You cannot pull it out of the sleeve and look.
See. Oh, okay.
So you're going to have to really know what the backsides of all of the cards do.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, wow.
Including the battles.
My God. Okay, so Pro Tour Draft is already hard enough, everybody. Like, we already know you can't look at your picks in between your picks, only in between packs.
Correct.
Which I've only done one draft at competitive REL or whatever it is, where you couldn't look. It was for a back when we had PTQs.
Oh, okay. They did like a called draft for that?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
It was pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have them, but, this was a different time, kids.
When you were a Spike?
Yeah. And I picked my first 2 cards. By pick 3, I had no memory of what I had taken. Absolutely zero. So, it's already extremely difficult and nerve-wracking, and now we're adding this on top of it, and you better not only remember what has been opened and where it was, but also what both sides of the cards, all of them do.
Yep.
And what alternate arts you might see, that kind of thing. Wow.
I'm pretty nervous about remembering what the backside of a card does.
Yeah.
I'll be working on the production behind the scenes.
Okay, so Caroline,
comfortably behind the scenes.
Carolyn's behind the scenes helping us out at the Pro Tour. You were you worked at the last one, and you made a name for yourself by putting up your favorite card on Card Viewer all the time.
I did. I set a goal. So my role was to listen to coverage, which by the way is a great job to get paid for.
Yeah, it is.
To just listen to coverage. Yeah. And then every time a card was discussed, a card was in play, or rarely a card was in someone's hand, I would click it. It was like a little interface that I had, and it would show up on screen.
Yeah.
And so when I was showing up to my first time doing Card Viewer, I wanted a goal. I wanted something to, I wanted something fun to do.
Yeah, of course.
And it was a Pioneer format.
Yep, Pioneer at the last Pro Tour.
And my favorite card in Magic of all time is a Boreal Grazer. This lovely little sloth, which is maybe a beast, whatever. But it's a sloth in my heart.
Yes.
And I set a goal to put it up as many times as possible without being fired, which I think is a really good goal. Because obviously I could just keep putting it up.
Great goal.
Right? Like I could just do it.
But you would be fired.
And then eventually someone would be like, Caroline, what are you doing? Which people probably ask anyway. But, So I had this goal for myself, and I got up to 19 times.
Holy cow.
At the end of, or the top 8 where both Lotus Field decks were done.
Okay.
So at 19. And 19 is like a cool number.
But you really want 20.
It's not like the best number. And so just in the last round, one of the casters came in clutch and talked about a Boreal Grazer, even though it wasn't in play, and I got the number 20. I'm not going to name names.
Yay!
It's a secret. It's not a secret. And it was really fun. It was like a fun little thing to work for. But my question is, what do I work for now?
I know.
So here's what I was thinking.
Okay, go.
Do you know how there's all these dual legendary creatures like Thalia?
Yeah, the team-up cards.
Yeah. What about if I can get as many pairings as possible? Like, because there's a bunch of them, right?
There is.
Yeah. So what about if I can kind of try and get like Thalia and Gitrog up there?
Yeah.
And so limited, that will be easy.
Yes.
But then constructed.
All right, people, if you haven't put in your decks yet, I don't know when decks are due.
Yeah,
it's probably like tonight or tomorrow.
Just do it now. It's fine.
Put in a lot of the team up cards just to help out Caroline.
I think what I'll do is I'll write all the team up cards down.
Yeah.
And I'll see how many. I could do like a challenge. Who wins
the team up battle?
Yeah. Because limited is going to help with that a little bit.
It will.
I guess it will be kind of boring if there's one constructed deck that just has one of the team up cards.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what I can do.
Great goal. A great job. I've done that at Pro Tours in the past too. Not that I haven't ever had a fun game like you have. It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a good way to entertain yourself for many, many hours.
But it is a fun gig, putting up cards. So anytime you see a card on your screen, you can thank Caroline for putting it there.
Unless you didn't like it or it wasn't the correct card, then it wasn't me.
No, then it definitely wasn't you.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So we've got cool draft stuff to think about. We've got the Caroline Team Up Challenge, which will be happening.
I like the hashtag. Thank you very much. I'm just going to write that one down.
There's the hashtag. Do you like this draft format? Have you been playing a lot of it?
Okay. So you asked me earlier what's the secret of being good at Magic?
Yeah.
Because I don't actually play that much Magic.
Okay.
My life is just pretty busy.
But you have good results.
Oh, that's just luck. But yes.
Okay, whatever.
So I don't play that much Magic. But in the last couple of days, I've been drafting so much.
Yes.
Like just on Arena, I've been doing I like to do the traditional drafts. I don't really like the best of ones. The best of ones are boring. I lose attention. But I've been doing the traditional and they cost more, so I feel like I'm paying attention more.
Yeah. That's how you get yourself to not online shop while you play Arena. That's my problem.
Yeah. But I've been loving it. I've always loved 5-color sets. I also saw a tweet from Luis that kind of highlighted the person who designed this set versus the other sets they designed.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh yeah, these align with the ones that I like as well.
Yeah, no, much love. Yeah. I've also loved this draft format. I know Megan has too. And I think all of the pro players.
Megan's drafting right now.
Yeah, she probably is.
She didn't want to do the podcast.
Yeah. She's like, you guys just handle it. Yeah. I really need to get in the queue.
Yeah, I really need to get in the queue. Yeah.
But I know on coverage and stuff, people are even trying to tear themselves away from playing draft to talk about or play some standard because the draft is just so fun.
Yep.
Is that how it's going in the house too? Or are they more disciplined?
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out. It's day one.
There's been a lot of in-person drafts, which is an experience. That is definitely an experience that a large house can offer that other things can't.
Right.
In person, they are practicing the 2-card thing. There are also a lot of people watching one-person draft and then talking about it. I think the in-house testing gets a lot of benefit from drafting.
Yeah.
But did you know that deck lists for constructed are due at noon on Wednesday?
Noon.
It's
a weird
which
time.
is a big deviation. It is normally midnight local time. And so that's kind of causing some strain as well. But there'll be more time to test after noon on Wednesday. So.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of standard decks being due tomorrow at noon.
Yes.
Players listening to this, probably there's one pro player who listens to this podcast.
And it's 1 p.m. on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm late. Yeah. Let's talk about what people might be able to see in standard because it's been a minute since we've had standard at a pro tour as the premier format. And there's been a lot of diversity in it. We've seen it as the format of the regional championships leading up to this pro tour. So we've gotten a little bit of a peek, but now we have March of the Machine thrown into the mix, which might shake things up. Mm-hmm. Overall, do you have any feelings about standard right now, Caroline? It's okay if you don't.
No, I do. I had to play standard in the regional championships. And
what did you play?
I played Esper.
Okay.
Leading up to the tournament, I was somewhat traveling. I was in California, but in San Francisco. And I could not win a match on Arena.
Really?
It got to the point where it was a little embarrassing. I was trying everything. I was trying everything to not play Esper. Because I'm not good with islands in general, and I was a bit worried. And it turns out Esper is just a creature deck, so it actually was pretty easy. Yeah. But I was worried about it, so I was trying literally everything. I could not win a match. And then I tried Esper, and I still couldn't win a match, so that was a bit concerning. And I like standard in theory. I've always loved standard. I played the VML, which has always been standard. There were times where we were the only ones playing standard at all, basically. So I really love standard. This one has been tough. Both the regional or the championship I played online back in kind of this time last year was Standard. That was like the first start of Grixis.
Yes.
And now we're kind of still here. Like Grixis is still here.
We're still in Grixis's
It's the same
ballpark
deck.
Okay,
basically.
let's talk about what decks you might see in players' hands. This weekend, we're going to talk about them generally. So there will be deviations, obviously. But generally, Grixis midrange, like you mentioned, it is one of the most popular decks that we saw at the regional championships. And still doing its thing.
Still around.
Here so long after it came to the top.
And I have some notes on like what Grixis could look like this weekend.
Sure. Let's talk about what it looked like.
Sure.
In leading up to this event, and then talk about how it's changed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Grixis is just like all of the best cards. That's how I would describe this deck.
Have you heard of Fable the Mirror Breaker?
Yeah.
It's a really, really cool card.
Have you heard of this card? Do you know about this? It's Fable the Mirror Breaker.
Yeah.
It won Good Luck
Hot
High
new
Fives
tech.
card of the year last year.
Hot new tech.
Hot new tech. 4 copies in this deck, of
Wow,
course.
stunning.
I mean, just absolutely stunning.
Can we also talk about Bankbuster?
Yes.
What a comeback card. Like,
What do you mean?
look at it. It just doesn't look very cool.
No, Reckoner Bankbuster, a 4/4 for 2 mana, and then you it's a vehicle, but
It does
you're
a
really
lot.
just drawing cards.
It's my least favorite draw and my most favorite draw. It's very confusing. It's just not.
Oh.
It's like boring.
Oh, why is it boring? Because it's colorless and anyone can just put it in?
Yeah, anyone can put it in. It draws some cards. Cool, like fun party trick. And then, okay, I guess I attack sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see what you're
I
saying.
want my cards to do cool things. It doesn't
It's
really.
too broad.
Yeah.
It does it all. It slices, it dices.
And it just has to be in your deck.
And it has to be in
And
your
I
deck.
hate that.
I agree with you, actually.
Yeah.
I do think that is annoying. I wish that decks were pretty heavily restricted.
Well, Fable is the same way.
Yes.
If you're playing red, Fable has to be in your deck. But the problem is, for me, Fable's way more fun.
Yes.
Like, even though it actually does a kind of similar amount of things, it's just extremely more fun. And there are times where you can win really cool with Fable. Like, if you have 2 of them, that actually gets kind of fun. So, like, I feel like there's something I'm chasing with Fable, but for Bankbuster, I'm, like, doing my homework.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a
I'm,
great
like,
way to think about it.
Yeah. It's needed. You have to do it, but it's boring.
So this deck plays those cards like we mentioned: Fable, Reckoner Bankbuster, Blood Tithe Harvester, Corpse Appraiser.
Now that's a cool card.
That is, I agree with you, the coolest card in the deck.
Yes. And
it's been there forever.
When Grixis was discovered last year, it was on our testing team as well.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, we didn't create Grixis out of nowhere, but that was a deck we were testing a lot.
We didn't create the colors black, red, and blue in Magic together.
And other teams had it too, but that was like, wait, this is just a common in this set, or an uncommon in the set. What do you mean? And then it turns out it's like, oh, what a card.
Yeah, this card is incredible.
Yeah.
You're running Shieldred the Apocalypse.
That's okay.
Which is
card's fine.
Whatever. 4 copies of Invoke Despair, generally.
If you ever want your opponents to hate you, that's a good card.
Oh my god, yeah, it is.
Card.
That's a card insta-hate.
Yep. Yeah.
Brotherhood's End. This card is like exactly the type of card that I hate my whole Magic career. There it is in this deck. Just good cards, good removal.
Well, it doesn't come against Boggles very well.
Well, okay, sure.
Because it doesn't say enchantments, so you got something going for you.
All right. If
we can ask
Boggles,
for like an
okay.
amendment later if you want. Brotherhood's end to end. You can also destroy enchantments.
No, that's this deck. Generally, what could possibly be different about this now that we've got Mommy in the house?
So my notes are really detailed. I just need a few minutes to read through them.
Okay, great.
For Grixis, I actually do have some notes. I was going to say not much, but that's not true. So there's a couple new removal spells, which I'm not going to name, not because I don't want you to know the secrets, it's because I can't remember the name of them. But there's a 1 mana red card. It's a sorcery that deals 1 damage or 5 damage if it's blue or white.
Yeah.
And it can't be countered. So
Okay.
it can kill Rafine.
Oh,
For
Rafine
1 mana.
For 1 mana. Hey, that's a pretty good deal.
You can target it.
Yeah.
They go, okay, pay the ward, and you're like, nah, no thanks. And they're like, cool. And they're like, cool, it can't be countered. And that's like just a really good conversation you could have. Yeah.
That's a great conversation
Yeah,
you could have
and be like,
with your
cool.
opponent as you're destroying them.
Yeah. So that's actually legitimate, like a pretty big upside. I'm sure there'll
absolutely.
be some hanging around. And then the new Chandra is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Does stuff. Please don't ask me what it does, but it does stuff.
Quick pop quiz. What does the new Chandra do?
Oh boy. I don't think I could tell you any of the abilities or if there's more than 3.
I just tried to write Chandra into
good luck.
Scryfall, and I wrote Khandra.
Oh, okay. I was going to, even writing Chandra won't really get you very far.
No, because I'm going to have 100 of them that come up.
Well, and could you even, without seeing the set symbols, name which is the new one?
They all look so similar.
Okay, it's 6 mana.
Okay. Where are you, New Shandi?
Well, okay, you've met, yeah.
Now I'm doing all the cards that have Chandra in them.
I can't name the new one from this picture.
Okay, hold on. This is the way we're gonna do it.
This is much smarter. Good job.
Okay, so new Chandra.
Oh, there it is.
Hope's Beacon.
Yep.
5 loyalty. She has a static. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Oh, of course.
Triggers only once each turn. +2, add 2 mana any combo of colors. +1, exile the top 5 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among those exiled cards. -X deals X damage to each of up to 2 targets.
Okay.
Yeah, so she does a lot of different things.
Yep.
In this already extremely powerful shell.
Yep.
So Grixis might just dominate again.
Who knows?
I mean, it seems pretty good right now. So let's look at what we expect to be one of the top decks. Another one you just mentioned, Esper. You said it has blue, so it was like a little scary to you, which I agree. I'm also terrified of blue cards. But it just revolves around Rafine Scheming Seer, and then you just, connive.
It's a curve deck. You play a 1-drop, and then a 2-drop, and then a 3-drop, and then you win. Profit. Hashtag.
Hey, I like that kind of style of deck right there.
But it really, it legitimately plays as a creature deck. I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. And it draws a lot of cards, which I do love doing.
I also, as a creature player, do love drawing cards. People think that those things are at odds. They're not.
They're not. Well,
SRAM is a card.
Especially the last couple of years.
Yeah.
A lot of not-blue cards draw cards these days.
Much to Megan's chagrin.
Yeah. Omnath, here, have a card. Yeah.
Rafine, you've got Dennick, Pious Apprentice. What does Dennick do in this deck?
So Dennick has one line of text that's really important, which is cards in graveyards can't be targets.
Right.
So it stops Reanimator, it stops some other random stuff, and then it doesn't stop like channels, and it's weird. It sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. But for the most part, it's stopping Reanimator decks that are targeting the graveyard.
Okay. Yeah. You get to play Skrelv. Yep. Which was a big champion in the last Pro Tour that we played.
Yeah.
Very cool card that protects your dudes.
Yep.
You get to play Athalia.
Oh, great card.
I mean, making people's spells cost more. I think so. You're running Shieldred as well. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, one of my all-timers to play in a creature deck.
That's how I knew it was a creature deck.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait.
if Adeline's in the deck, it's a creature deck.
Yeah.
Okay, so Esper Legends, still a really good deck coming in this weekend, you think?
I think so. I think it probably has the most loss in the sense that it literally didn't get anything, I think. That's not true. I'm sure someone's going to play a new card in it. Great. Call me if you do. That's fine. But in general, I don't believe there's a new 4 of.
Sure.
But I'm happy to be like, man, I was so wrong.
Okay.
But I don't think it was strong before, and I'm just not confident. Maybe it is still strong. I actually really don't know. I haven't played that much.
Esper Legends. Yeah. It certainly looks to be a good deck. Mm-hmm. Another one, which I find very surprising.
Do we have to talk about this deck?
We do.
We might go to time if we talk about it.
Mono white mid range.
This is my least favorite deck.
Same.
Probably in forever.
Yeah.
Like I would put this worse than Reclamation.
Oh, Wilderness Reclamation?
Yeah.
No, that was a hated deck.
I really, really, really dislike Mono White Midrange.
Why do you hate this deck?
So for one, they get to do a lot of fun things, and that's really unfair.
I want to be the one doing fun things.
So they have a lot of planeswalkers. They have a lot of things that give tokens and triggers and all that jazz. That's great, but that means each turn does take a little bit of time, especially if you want to think about each decision. So I feel like I could not play the deck because I don't play fast enough. I don't process fast enough, and so sometimes when that happens, and this happens in a lot of formats where there's a deck I can't play, I've decided, not like the rules say. I've decided I cannot play this deck. And then when it's the best deck, it's a very frustrating experience for me because it's like...
I understand.
I want to be able to always play the best deck, but I have to set myself some limitations, and I have to understand, I just won't be able to play fast enough. I will come to the tournament with 6 draws. This will happen. And so that's something that I get kind of annoyed about. And same with when blue is really good. I'm like, that's unfair. I can't play blue. I'm not saying this is a good thing. This is a very silly thing.
No, I don't think it is. I mean, you've identified the way that you like to play the game, and hopefully, like, you have a fun time when you play the game, right? And so, if there is a best deck that is not my play style, I 100% will not play it. I just won't. Yeah. And I know that that's contrary to a lot of like pro players' beliefs, but I also believe in like just doing something that brings you joy, right?
Yes.
So I know sometimes that's not on top of the list when you're trying to make money, but that's just how I approach it personally. And mono white mid range is a deck that can be very, very slow and grindy to play, which is weird to talk about a mono white deck, which is normally a fast creature based deck.
It's funny. Our creature deck is Esper, and our control deck is mono white. What is happening?
Bizarro world here.
What is the world?
So this deck runs cards like the Wandering Emperor, Elspeth Resplendent. You talked about a lot of planeswalkers. The Eternal Wanderer is also in here.
It's kind of awkward. There's 2 wanderers. It doesn't feel like on theme.
Where's the legend rule when you need it?
Exactly.
Sarah Paragon.
That card's actually pretty cool.
Is a super sweet card.
I really like that
but
card.
really gives this deck some reach.
Yep. No, it has flying.
It's also got Bankbuster, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Just put it in every deck.
Don't worry.
Wedding Announcement, 4 copies of Ossification.
That's why I like Esper.
Why?
It doesn't have Bankbuster.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's why. There's no Bankbuster to be annoying, like,
no boring
must
Bankbuster.
include
Must
kind
do
of
your
card.
work. Yeah.
So it just, like, is extremely controlling. It can get back cards from the graveyard like it's nobody's business and just shut down everything you're trying to do.
Yep.
Mono white mid-range. Rakdos midrange is another deck that we might see at the top tables this weekend. Very similar to Grixis midrange.
Yeah. I would say too similar.
Yeah,
if it was me, but you know, it's not my article.
The benefit here being that you don't have blue, I guess, so you're more streamlined.
That is a benefit. Always cut the blue.
I agree.
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing. You're running Fable.
You hovered over one of my favorite cards.
Which card?
Gix's Command.
Gix's Command.
Yeah, that's a cool card.
This is the 3 black sorcery where you choose 2, put 2+1/+1 counters on up to 1 creature. It gains lifelink until end of turn. Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. Return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, and each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures they control.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good card.
It's really good in the mirror in Esper.
Ooh,
I brought it in a lot.
Oh, hey!
It was really fun. I think I played like 7 mirrors in the 15 rounds that I played.
Oh, yeah, that would be backbreaking in the mirror for Esper.
Really good. Yeah, because even if you don't get all their creatures, the last ability makes them sack their biggest creature.
Right.
So you do you kill all the 2-power stuff and kill your Sheoldred.
Sick.
Very good. Yeah.
So consider Rakdos if you just don't like blue cards.
And I bet you Rakdos probably has a few more new stuff.
Yeah.
I think... honestly, I would have played Rakdos if I didn't play Esper.
Sure.
It's a little bit more my speed, for sure.
Why would you play Rakdos instead of Grixis?
Because I really don't like counter spells.
Yeah. So do I.
I know this sounds like it's a leak. Obviously, I understand that. But also, I don't play with them well enough. It's not even that I don't like them. It's like there's been times where I've been playing on Arena and I have an Essence Scatter in my hand, and Sam walks by and he's like, "Okay, cool," and opponent casts a creature, they put it on the stack in Arena. I go, "Cool, okay." And he goes, "Why did you not counter that?" I was like, do you
know how many times that has happened to me, Caroline?
Yeah, my brain just doesn't. It's not used to it, and therefore I don't get good at it. And it's something I could fix, but I don't fix it. I don't know. No,
I'm right there with you. Yeah. I do the same thing all the time, and I'm like, wait a second, you're holding Essence Scatter. Yeah.
But it's also counter target creature. I'm like,
I don't have good threat assessment.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm just used to I would rather be the threat.
Absolutely.
Than assess the threat. So that's how I play basically any game that's even similar to Magic. I just want to be the threat. Celestia Toxic is one of my favorite decks, but it's kind of lost a lot of steam.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if it comes at all. I don't know. It to me felt like during some of the regional championships, it was like a surprise deck. I think it might have been the surprise deck of the first one.
Yes, it was.
And then it kind of went off and then came back a little bit. It's sort of like Affinity, where if you know it's coming, it's pretty beatable, and if you don't know it's coming, it's a bit of a surprise. So who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I personally think it's super cool, but
obviously,
I said the Boggles player, to poison somebody out and just attack and do huge chunks of damage in one go. But I agree with you. I don't think we're going to see a lot of it this weekend. There's another Rakdos list that might be popping off in the feature match area. Rakdos Reanimator.
Yeah, so this one has existed before. Reanimator, there's a 5-mana Reanimator saga Cruelty of Gix.
Yes.
There we go. Has been around for a little bit. Lots of different versions. There's been greedy versions and, you know, a little bit thinner, nice Rakdos versions. They did well at different regional championships. But the target originally was Atraxa. Pretty cool card.
Yeah.
Giant, I don't know, 7 mana, 7/7, etc. Draws a lot of cards. But there's a new card, Itali something or other.
Itali.
It's the dinosaur.
The dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yes. Where is Itali? Well, there's the old Itali.
Is it not that
This one. Here we go. Itali Primal Conqueror. It's a 7 mana 7/7 trampler. When it enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs.
Yeah.
And then it has, that we're not done, an activated Phyrexian ability, 9 and a Phyrexian green.
It does?
Transform it.
Wow. What does it transform to?
It goes into Itali Primal Sickness.
Wow.
Because now Itali is been Phyrexianized. Trample with Indestructible, and it's 11/11 now.
Of course.
Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, they get that many poison counters.
Wow, I did not know that. I literally didn't know it had a backside.
That's absurd.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I want to know if that happens in coverage.
Yeah, that will be very cool.
That should be. I should
mean,
just have
they're
like
dead.
a bingo card. I should have a bingo
We
card.
used to do Good Luck High Five Pro Tour Bingo.
We should
It
do
was
that.
so fun.
That was good.
That was good. That was many years ago.
Yeah.
But this card is sick. So, yeah, I would like to reanimate this.
Yeah. Well, so here's a nice thing. When the Rakdos Reanimator decks were playing Atraxa, they could theoretically attack or cast Atraxa with a bunch of treasures left over. I think they played a couple splash like duels and stuff, but it was pretty hard. Atali, that's red.
That's red. They can
7 mana is not absurd in the standard format. Like, it's not crazy. And it has an ability, the biggest thing you want with your 7 mana cards is do they do something when they enter?
Right,
That's
exactly.
something okay, you know.
Yeah.
It's like fine.
Okay, I need to see that happen this weekend. That is sick. What other deck did you want to talk about that we might come across this weekend?
The only one, so looking at your list here, it's a little bit further down than I was expecting, and that's Domain Control.
Domain
or
Control.
I have 5-color Control.
Yeah, 5-color Control.
And I'm not going to be able to tell you much about what this deck looks like now or what it will look like because I'm fairly certain every 5-color control deck you click on will look different.
Yeah.
And has looked different in the past and will look different in the future because you're playing all 5 colors, so the decks are going to match more the style of the person that's playing them.
Sure. They just have so many options.
Right. I will say I did play one for actually kind of like a couple of days. Like I was kind of on it, and it was essentially the mono white deck with 5 colors. So
What?
so it had like a couple green cards, it had Atraxa, etc., but it was mostly the mono white deck. It played laydown arms. Like it had the white parts, and then it just had a couple extra colors. And there's also versions that play all the crazy colors and kind of make it a little bit harder to cast some of your spells. And then I think with the new battles and new mythics floating around and stuff, I think I could see 5-color control being anything. Like I don't even want to tell you what I think will be in the deck
because there's just no way to know.
There's no way to know. But I've been seeing them do better. So they might make a resurgence.
What is the reason to play 5-color controller?
I mean, you get to play with all the cards.
Other than the fact that you feel pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to say you also probably feel pretty smart. Herd migration, or is that what it's called?
Yeah, herd migration.
Herd migration is, I believe, the pull.
The domain card
domain
here
card.
makes
and
those 3/3 beasts.
Elefante.
Yeah.
Oh, they're beasts?
They're beasts.
They're not elephants?
I know the picture on the front makes it look like elephants.
But there's elephant
the art.
3/3s. Doesn't Terrastodon make elephants?
Yeah, I think so.
So
why are these beasts?
I have a call to make.
We'll be right back after Carolyn's call here.
Complaint line, please.
Hello, excuse me.
Well,
I want elephants.
I mean, I call daily.
Yeah.
For the sloth issue.
Oh, because you want more sloths? Or because they're
no,
just
'cause
not
it's
called sloth?
not called sloth.
Is there any creature that's called a sloth?
No,
All right.
They're all beasts.
That's
There's multiple sloth
sad.
creatures, but they are beasts. So I call every day.
This is like when we had hounds.
Might not be a real number.
What's your dog?
Like I think someone might have given me a number.
They gave me a number. It's 5 digits long.
Yeah, it's like 1-800 go away Caroline.
I'm just putting this together. Maybe they don't want me to
but
call.
it's possible that might not be real.
Wizards of the Coast, print Caroline some sloths, okay?
Please, thank
Would
you.
it be that hard? Just a sloth, one sloth? You made dogs.
They have slots. They don't even have to print any more slots. They can just change it.
Yeah,
just
they
let
just
me
need
know.
direct
Just
on
call
it.
me.
Yeah, I agree. So what are you most looking forward to at the Pro Tour this weekend?
Eating with lots of friends.
Yes, me too.
That's my favorite thing about Pro Tours is just going to new cities or cities that I've been to before and finding out about cool restaurants. Sometimes your friends send you to really cool restaurants that have, like they say they have things that you really like say soup dumplings.
Uh-huh.
And then you get to that restaurant and they don't have soup dumplings.
I feel like you're trying to call somebody out right now.
I really don't know who it could be. But it was here in this town. In fact,
incredible.
That Maria sent me to a soup dumpling restaurant that did not have soup dumplings. It was actually really good food. So yeah, don't get food recommendations from Maria. But honestly, eating and seeing so many people.
Yes.
And the Pro Tour being back means you see the international people again, which is really, really fun. So.
Yeah, we're back in paper again after last time being the first time in a long time since the fall of 2014. So happy to see the players. They were just like ecstatic last time.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest takeaways is how
really
happy they
cool.
were back to be playing paper all together in the same room. So I'm excited to see that again. MagicCon, if you're going, remember the Good Luck High Five panel Friday at 12:30 p.m.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Megan and I are going to be released from Pro Tour coverage for a little bit to go do a panel, and it's going to be really fun. We have a lot of celebrity
Can I
guests.
replace you on the news desk?
Yeah, you come in.
Yeah,
I've
got look how much practice I have.
I think you'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sweet.
that's
Okay.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'll call that number.
Yeah.
It'll totally work out. Yeah.
Come find us at our panel. We'd love to say hi to you. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens at the tournament and welcoming so many of my friends here to Minneapolis to eat not soup dumplings, but other great food and hang out.
Wait, there's no soup dumplings in Minneapolis?
No, there are somewhere.
We're going to eat them, though.
Okay, we will. Everybody, we're going to talk about the VML and Caroline, who is a 3-time champion.
Thank you.
Which is incredible. You just showed me the VML's Hall of Fame page, which has your picture on it 3 times.
Yep.
That's
Definitely 3 times.
I mean, like, that's getting close to actual Magic the Gathering Hall of Fame status, in my opinion.
Oh, that's true. I think it's only 2 finishes.
Well, you've
2
got
finishes
3
on the ballot.
Yeah. So, for everybody who doesn't know, what is the VML? Let's just get a quick overview.
Yeah. So the VML is an online arena tournament series. It's usually about 10 weeks long. It's for players of marginalized genders. We started in 2020, which is kind of wild.
Wow.
Think about it. We're just about to start season 10, which we may or may not be announcing today. Which
incredible.
Is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And you play 1 match a week, kind of all scheduled or all like round robin within a small pod of 8 players. And then the best 2 players of each pod go on to a bunch of playoffs. And we have tons of prizes. We have a cash pool. First place is $7,000. Or sorry. Prize pool is $7,000. That makes way more sense.
Okay.
I was like, whoa, wait, that's a lot.
That sounds pretty good.
And then top 8, I want to say, go to their local regional championship.
Great.
And then the top 8 also qualify for a gauntlet series, which is like kind of our mini worlds, let's say.
Sure.
Which will be coming up later this year. So this will be the last season that will fill that gauntlet. So
that's so exciting.
Cool, yeah.
I'm so happy that something like the VML exists. It's a great opportunity for people who want to play.
I forgot the best part about the VML.
What's that?
It's sponsored.
Yes, Good Luck High Five is a sponsor.
And so is Wizards.
And so is Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
We're basically Wizards of the Coast is what I'm saying. Yeah, we had, Megan and I had $77 billion in our profits last quarter, so no big deal.
We got them all.
But it's such a cool thing, and it's so exciting to find out that you're on season 10.
Yeah.
And is this open to anybody of marginalized gender who wants to compete?
Absolutely. Well, anyone who can get to our Melee page before it fills up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I got some dates. You want to talk
let's
some
go.
dates?
Yeah, let's talk some dates.
Yeah, so Monday, May 8th, put that in your calendar. That will be when registration opens.
Great.
And then play will begin Monday, May 15th, which is a week later.
Wow.
That
Okay,
is
everybody.
a big undertaking.
So if you want to participate in this league, $7,000 prize pool, get like regional championship invites, perhaps go to the quote World's Gauntlet here through the VML. starting on the 8th is when registrations will open. So the best way to know when that is going to happen and be the first person in the queue to click is to follow the VML on Twitter.
Yep.
Because they will put it up the moment that it's live and give you all the information you need to get in on time.
That's VML MTG.
VML at VML MTG.
Yeah, we have that on almost everything.
For as long as Twitter remains with us.
Yep.
We'll see. But I'm so happy that this kind of thing exists, and you've had a lot of success with it. What has it meant to you to play in a league like that?
It's pretty crazy, actually. Like, just to be able to play in a space that is a little bit curated. I don't know what the right word is.
Yeah.
And then also, my favorite thing is that not actually me playing in it, which is weird. My favorite thing is looking at Twitter and looking at Discords and see people be like, oh, like, here's a person I met through the VML that I'm now super close with. We test all the time together. This is like a connection I wouldn't have had. That's actually my favorite thing about the VML.
Yeah.
It's just hearing about these people finding each other and then becoming pretty strong friends, or, you know, a good testing group or whatever, you know, because Sanctum of All kind of came through the VML
absolutely.
as well. So that's been really fun to just hear these cool stories. That's honestly what it's about.
And Sanctum of All, if you don't know, is a testing group that tests for pro tours and big events, also made up of people of marginalized genders, just like a really welcoming testing team, where sometimes people feel like, you know, being a part of a testing team is a pretty huge advantage going into a large tournament, first of all, but getting to be a part of one can be a bit of a barrier to entry.
Yeah.
So really happy to see that stuff like that is coming up. And Caroline, you're like really good at Magic. Can I just say that?
Oh, thanks.
I need to ask you a question because I asked this of every like really good Magic player.
Oh no.
Don't worry. It's why do you think you're good at Magic? Like, what kind of decks do you like to play, and why do you think you're good?
Okay. Well, I don't think I'm good.
Well, okay, enough.
So that's problem one. Okay, so my favorite decks, I have been thinking a lot about this. When I first started playing, it was like creatures, and that hasn't really changed that much. But I've shifted way more towards mid-range. So like my peak favorite deck was like an Abzan mid-range deck in Modern, like similar to Jund.
Sure.
With like Siege Rhino.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say it. Good thing Megan's not here.
I had to do it. Megan wasn't here. That wasn't even a setup. It really was a really favorite deck of mine. And so in future, in current ways, like in Standard and even in Pioneer, I definitely play a little bit closer to mid-range decks. So in Pioneer, I've been playing Red-Black Sacrifice, which is not really a mid-range deck, but it does a lot of things.
Yes, it does. That is a way to describe that deck.
And it really makes my opponents angry, which might explain my other favorite deck, which was Tron.
Oh.
So maybe that's the theme.
See.
Maybe that's what it is.
Making your opponents angry. Could be.
Yeah. Maybe I need to play some sort of like blue-white control next. No.
Gosh, no, I can't even hear those words.
Never. Islands, no thank you.
But why do you think, so you just played in a regional championship.
Did.
The DreamHack one in San Diego.
Yeah.
How did it go for you?
It started off really well. I think I was 6-0 at some point, which was really well.
That's amazing.
Not some point. At one point, I was 6-0.
Yeah.
And then wheels fell off a little bit. Collected them, duct taped them on. Managed to get all the way to X and 4. It was like the last round.
Sure.
15 rounds. I don't even know. X and 4. I thought I wasn't live for the Pro Tour qualification, so the top 48 qualify for the Pro Tour, and this tournament wasn't comparable to other RCs because it was a bit bigger, so it was confusing like what was live, and so I thought I wasn't able to play for this Pro Tour invite kind of thing, and then just before a round, someone ran up and was like, Caroline, like your match is a winning in.
Wow.
Which was super nice of them. But mentally, not the best for me. My husband actually totally knew and just didn't tell me on purpose.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Him and Matt Nass were looking at the standings, and he's like, yep, she's live, but I'm not going to tell her. Because he knew I wouldn't want to know.
Yeah.
Which was pretty funny. And so I ended up, nothing went wrong in the match that wasn't me. Like, I made all the game choices, I made the mulligan choices, etc., but I did not win.
Okay.
So I got kind of closer than I had in a while, and so it was a bit of a bummer. But
yeah,
well, it's in San Diego, so you can't be that sad.
No, I mean, I think that's a fabulous finish regardless, and I think the same thing would have happened to me. I would have gotten so in my head if somebody had told me it was a win-in, and I would have just punted. But
it was very nice. Well, so it wasn't a win-in for everyone, so it was super nice that they saw me out and wanted me to know.
Yes.
So very, very nice. Just for me, I was like, oh no, nervous.
Well, I have full confidence that we'll see you on the Pro Tour. You know.
Sorry.
You just dropped your pen. It's fine. It's fine. Any day now. So, congrats on that good finish and being a 3-time champ of the VML.
Thanks.
And if you want to start down the same road as Caroline, May 8th, everybody, they're going to open again for submissions for season 10 of the VML, which is just incredible.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I can't get over that.
I mean, starting in 2020 and 10 seasons now?
January
that's
of
wild.
2020. Like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
Here we are.
It's crazy.
Well, everybody, that's this episode of Good Luck High Five. Thank you once again to our special guest host, Carolyn Pardee.
Yeah.
Amazing Magic player, whether or not she wants to admit it, to all of you. And a fabulous guest and card viewer extraordinaire
Yes.
at the Pro Tour. We'll see how many monkeys we can put up. I mean, sloths.
Oh, that's another good one. I could put Ragavans up.
Ragavans.
How
That
many
could be a good
Ragavans?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've
But
got Team Up Challenge.
I'm excited for the Team Up Challenge.
Yeah, Team
I think
Up
that's gonna
Challenge
be good.
2023.
Yeah. Hashtag Caroline's Team Up Challenge.
Caroline's Team Up Challenge,
Yeah.
Pro Tour Mom, this weekend. Like we said, coverage Friday, Saturday, Sunday at twitch.tv/magic, starting at noon on Friday and Saturday and 11 a.m. on Sunday for the top 8. Draft and Standard. I tried to get them to switch them around so that draft is all of the main rounds and standard is just the start of the morning.
And how'd that go?
They said no.
Okay. Did you call that number? I got it.
Oh,
for you.
I'll call it.
down.
Okay, yeah. I'll call that number and see if we can what we can do.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited for the tournament this weekend and everybody being in town. I hope if you're going to the con, you have a fantastic time and enjoy our city of Minneapolis. Come see me and Megan on our panel on Friday. Big thanks again to all of our patrons, including Victor, Dennis, Randy, and Scott. And Caroline,
Yes.
patreon.com/GLHF Magic and cardkingdom.com/GLHF.
And really do that part. It's really good.
Put that in the browser.
So much easier than what I do.
It'll automatically know you're supporting Good Luck High Five.
really smart.
It's just this one-stop
Yeah.
link.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.